and will get in 6 steps the overhead rates. Multiple overhead rates are calculated to find out the cost of a product. Dear students, let me tell you that here we are concentrating on overhead cost. So overhead related or overhead cost related whatever the activities are there in a company, will find out the overhead cost and divide it by the cost driver unit and will get the overhead rates. And the last step is step number 7 is to find out the cost of a product. Up to 6 steps we have calculated the cost of a project, only the overhead cost. But you know that overhead cost is not only the component of a product. The direct cost, as we have seen in last slide, material, direct labor and direct expenses, they are also a part of a product. So altogether, direct cost as well as from this 6th step, we have calculated overhead rate. By applying ABC, we'll find out now what actually the total cost of a product manufactured. Because this is very essential to find out what actually the cost incurred to fix the selling price of a product. And we know that the owner of a company, as per the cost incur, they calculate at a prescribed rate the profits of a company, and then they find out the selling price. So up to 6 steps, we have calculated the overhead rate, and in 7th we will merge it, we will include it with the direct cost and will get the cost of a product. Up to last slide, we have learned how the activity cost based system employs. We have learned the steps of activity based costing, but for that it is very important to know or to learn, to get through with the terminologies attached with the ABC system. That is, first is cost driver. So here what exactly the cost driver is? A cost driver is an activity which generates cost. I repeat, an activity which generates cost. So that activity is identified which generates the cost. Second, the factors that influence the cost of a particular activity is known as cost driver. So here that the cost for incurring cost, which cost is more influencing, which affects more, that activities are to be found out. That is also a part of the 2nd and 3rd steps that we have learned in last slide. Direct cost, as I told you, that do not require the cost drivers. Either the direct cost is only one cost driver, that is the machine hour or labor hour, is to be calculated and directly applied to the cost object. So the direct cost do not require to calculate the cost drivers, whereas only the overheads require to calculate the cost drivers. So that's why this is very important point in activity-based costing. Factory cost, office and administrative cost, selling and distribution cost, and which are of indirect in nature, they do require to calculate the cost drivers to implement the activity-based costing method. Again, in this slide, I have given you the examples. What are the cost drivers and how they are to be found out. Say for an example, the order cost is one of the activity. You know that in manufacturing company, for manufacturing a product, there are certain orders to be made to the suppliers. So here the ordering is one of the activity. Now, for that, as you know that again, this is very essential, very important activity to manufacture a product. How much to be ordered, who are the suppliers, etc. So this is treated as one of the essential activity. So as we have identified ordering as one of the activity. Second, as now we have to determine what is the cost driver for this ordering. So now, see, here I have given the example. Might be there are other cost drivers also. For activity ordering, here I have chosen, or here the cost driver is number of receiving orders or number of giving orders, whatever the case may be. If it is ordering by the customers or if it is the ordering to the suppliers, as the case may be. So here the cost driver identified is number of orders. It means, say for an example, orders are given to the suppliers to give the materials, raw materials. During the year, how many orders made? So say for an example, if 12 orders are made, then this 12 orders becomes the cost driver. Very important point. I think from this slide it clears you that what actually the driver and hierarchy. Now hierarchy is again the part of activity and cost. Now what exactly the hierarchy is? While employing the activity-based costing for finding out the cost drivers, whether the cost driver is unit level, whether the cost driver is batch level, whether the cost driver is a product level, or whether the cost driver is a facility level. So there are mainly 4 cost hierarchies are there, and through which we find out the cost drivers for the essential activity which are going on in the company to manufacture a product. So first activity, then we'll classify the cost hierarchies into 4: cost unit level, product level, facility level or batch level. According to the nature of the product and the activities going on, will bifurcate into cost drivers. So here I have given one of the example that delivery of goods. The cost driver identified is number of deliveries made during the year, and its hierarchy is a unit level. Whereas the product handling is one of the activity. Its cost driver is material handling hours. During the year, how many material handled and what are the number of hours devoted to handle such material, and its hierarchy is batch level, because we know that there are so many product lines are there in a company which are of same kind of products. Company may manufacture more than one products and may are of a same product line. So if there is the situation, then that cost driver is of batch level. Other examples of cost drivers are inspection. Inspection is one of the activity, and the cost driver for that is the number of inspections, or might be another may be taken as per the suitability to the company and company owner. The next activity is machine setup. Machine setup is a activity which has the common benefit for all the units of products manufactured. That's why it is very essential to allocate, and for that the cost driver is ascertained. The suitable cost driver for that is number of setups. How many number of setups made during the year to manufacture a product. We will divide it by the number of setups to the machine setups. So this is also called as batch level cost driver. Why batch level? Same as like so many products are parallelly manufactured in a product which are of same product line. Like say for an example, FMCG goods, fastest moving consumer goods like soap, detergents, they are having batch level cost drivers. Another examples, maintenance and equipment, then plant depreciation. Plant depreciation is the most important example of facility cost hierarchy. It has the facility because the plant depre is calculated on the plant of a company, and which is the fixed asset, and on that fixed assets many products are manufactured. So that's why it is treated as a facility level hierarchy, and the cost driver is fixed assets or maybe other also as per the suitability. So how the rate is to be calculated? As we have seen, there are so many activities. So we'll find out the activity cost pool. Whatever the cost driver identified, like say for an example, setup cost. Setup cost, the cost driver identified is number of setups. So how we'll get the cost driver rate is, the cost driver rate is equal to setup cost divided by number of setups. So this way we'll find out multiple overhead rates. As we have seen in traditional costing method that there is only one plant-wide overhead rate, either based on labor hours or machine hours. But here in activity-based costing, we find out so many overhead rates as per these activities identified, and will allocate and then trace to the cost of an object. So this way the cost driver rate is identified. What are the benefits of ABC? As the ABC focuses on overhead expense, overhead cost, so we can easily come to know that who and what are causing the cost. Which activity and which units are causing the main overhead cost. So here the cause and effect relationship is there. It is more accurate. The facilitates cause and effect relationship, as I told you, and it is very important to have a cost control and cost reduction criteria. Here I have given one of the example, a very simple example to know or to have the idea, clear-cut idea of ABC costing. One of the company produces two products, A and B. Units manufacture 3,000 units and 7,000 units. The total is 10,000. Whereas machine hours 5,500 and 4,500. Quality inspection 650 and 350. Overhead cost, machine maintenance is 4 lakh rupees. Quality control is 6 lakh. So total overhead cost is 10 lakh. So it means that machine maintenance and quality control, these are the two activities identified. See, let me tell you friends that here I have identified only two, but in company there are more than two activities also. But just to explain you in more clear way, identified two activities only. One is the cost 4 lakh and the second is 6 lakh. We'll see by traditional way how it is calculated. While traditional way, as you know that now only one rate is there. So total overhead cost divided by total units manufactured. So 10 lakh rupees the total overhead cost divided by 10,000 units. So 100 rupees per unit cost. So here traditional way it is very easy to calculate. Whereas if we see ABC method, first of all, as we have identified two activities, machine and inspection. So machine maintenance cost will find out. Machine cost is 4 lakh divided by 10,000 hours, so 40 rupees. Quality control cost is 6 lakh divided by 1,000 inspection, so 600 rupees. Now we'll calculate product wise as we have not done in traditional. So product wise we'll calculate the overhead cost 5,500 of machine maintenance cost in rupees as we have calculated above. So it comes to like 20,000. 650 of quality control cost into 600 hours, 3,90,000. And in B product, same way, the cost is there. So we'll see again how it is calculated. In ABC, A product, machine maintenance cost is divided. So now we'll find out the overhead rate. 2,20,000 total machine cost divided by 3,000 units. So the overhead rate comes 73.33 rupees. And quality inspection cost 3,90,000 divided by 3,000 units. So 130 rupees. Total 203 rupees. So now students, you can easily compare the cost of overhead cost by way of traditional, that 100 rupees per product. Whereas in overhead costing it comes